All right, ready?
Yep.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to Norristown Area High School on a very cold and blustery December evening, where we're here with promises to be an outstanding early season matchup, a Liberty Division matchup between the Colonials of Plymouth Whitemarsh and the Eagles of Norristown. Joe, this is a storied rivalry that goes back many, many years, and it's produced some of the best games in the history of District 1 basketball. I can sure attest to that. I've been fortunate to be part of a number of those games against the Colonials. Norristown tonight comes in with a record, Joe, of 2 wins against 4 losses overall. I believe that's correct, and they're 2-2 in the league. They're coming off a great win against Cheltenham on the road in double overtime, where they had to overcome numerous deficits throughout that game. And I knew that was an important game for Coach Michaels, because they certainly didn't want to come into tonight's game with a 3-game losing streak. So maybe they're off the snide now. They're going to continue to improve as the season progresses. But tonight, Joe, I think this game could be another Donnybrook.
Yes. Thank you, Tom, and good evening, everybody. And first of all, happy holidays to one and all. As Coach McGee said, this will be a barn burner. This is what high school basketball is all about. As any local sports fan will tell you, the rivalry between Plymouth Whitemarsh and Norristown is a long and sometimes a bitter rivalry. This is the high school equivalent of Army, Navy, Penn, Princeton, St. Joseph's, Villanova. Both schools, as Coach McGee said, have great basketball traditions. Both schools have state titles in their history. The Colonials have a record of 4-2. They are coached by Jim D'Onofrio, now in his 3rd year. The Colonials will be led by their only returning letterman, their senior point guard, Dave Mcavoy. Dave Mcavoy is, in my opinion, the classic Philadelphia point guard. He is clever, he is quick, he has a decent shot, he knows he sees the floor, he understands the game as only the son of a coach can understand the game, and he's a very adept passer. The problem for the Colonials may be that he may not have anybody to pass the ball to, because I think it's clear that the Colonials of 2000-2001 do not have the height, the depth, the speed, the defensive prowess, and the offensive firepower that they've had in the past. But having said all that, the fact of the matter is the Colonials will battle you. They have a lot of pride. They will go down, if they go down, with guns blazing. So it should be it may not be a very pretty game, fans, but it will be a very frantic game and a game that's fun to watch. So, having said all that, go fill up the bowl with pretzels, potato chips, cheese, pepperoni. Draw yourself a glass of your favorite holiday beverage, sit back, and enjoy the game. It should be fun. Again, it may not be pretty, but it should be very, very entertaining.
Okay, Joe, before we take it away from this time, let's talk about the coach's perspective, Coach Michaels and Coach D'Onofrio on the keys to the game. Keys to the game, according to Coach Michaels, and we interviewed him prior to this telecast, is going to be 3 main things. Number 1, they've got to control Dan Salvi. And Dan Salvi last year in the same gym came off the bench and led PW to an upset of my Norristown Eagles at that time. He can play, he's a gamer, he's got experience, he plays hard, he can flat out shoot the ball, and he's 6'5½". So one of the keys will be for Norristown to try to contain him. They also want to stop the penetration ability of Mcavoy, certainly an experienced player, a 3-year starter, and if he's able to penetrate the Norristown defense, the Eagles could have some breakdowns inside. And the third key for Norristown is they want their own defense to create turnovers. They want to pressure Plymouth Whitemarsh and hopefully score in transition as a result of their defense. And Joe, why don't you briefly go over the 3 keys of the game as perceived by Coach D'Onofrio?
Thank you, Coach. Yeah, having spoken with Coach D'Onofrio prior to the game, he says that one of the keys to the Colonial success this evening will be to recognize the pressure, the defensive pressure that Norristown will bring to bear, and to be able to handle that pressure. The second key for Plymouth Whitemarsh's success this evening will be to recognize the various defenses that the Eagles will throw up against them. And lastly, the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials want to control the pace. They do not want to get into a run and shoot game with Norristown. Coach D'Onofrio is looking forward to this matchup. He understands that it is the classic neighborhood rivalry, and he indicates that his team is ready. They're playing well. They're playing as a team, and he expressed a lot of confidence going into tonight's contest.
Okay, Joe. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the start of tonight's game. This key Liberty Division contest between the Eagles of Norristown and the Colonials of Plymouth Whitemarsh. My partner right now tonight again will be Mr. Joseph Highland. I'm Tom McGee. We'll be back in a minute. I'm just going to see if they're playing tonight.
Okay, go, Tom.
Welcome back here to courtside here at Norristown Area High School, where we are starting lineups are about to be announced by the PA announcer here, Dolores Ginyard. And Joe, just looking at these starting lineups for PW, they're going to have a size advantage over Norristown with Tyrone Coleman at 6'1", Adam Parnes at 6'4", Andrew Beer at 6'3", and Dan Salvi at 6'6". Running that show will be number 11, the point guard, senior Dave Mcavoy, and here we are with the PW starters.
Number 11, Dave McAvoy.
It's Dave McAvoy, a 5'10 senior. This is his third year of varsity ball, 2 full years as a starter, and a part-time starter as a sophomore. Don Salvi, number 23, the 6'6 senior, top offensive threat for the Colonials. Number 32 is 6'1" junior and a wide body, Tyrone Coleman, very, very good athlete. Number 40 is Adam Parnes, 6'4", very, very strong on the boards. And Andrew Beer, 6'3" senior. 3 seniors and 2 juniors in the starting lineup for the Colonials. They do have experience with McAvoy, Salvi, and Andrew Beer getting significant time last year as underclassmen. And Joe, why don't you go over the Eagles lineup here?
Thank you, Coach.
That's number 3,
Number
Jamal
3
Alford.
is Jamal Alford, a senior guard.
And followed up here by number 10, Darnell Gowdy. Outstanding shooter, one of the best pure shooters, Joe, in District 1. And here's the surprise, number 22, Anthony Carmona, the young sophomore, won the game with a 3 against Cheltenham on the road the other night, getting a start tonight in place of Terry Pearson and Kent Smith, along with number 33, Matt Bates. We're now going to have the playing of our national anthem. Joe, a little interesting side note to the Norristown High starting lineup. Terry Pearson, as you reported to me, Coach Michaels received word from athletic trainer Dennis Flynn that he's a scratch for tonight's game.
That is correct.
And I'm a little bit surprised to see that Marvito Christie is the senior second leading scorer of the team is not in the lineup right now to start. Maybe coach wants to provide a spark off the bench with him.
I think a key to the game will be how well the young sophomore Anthony Carmona responds to the pressure of this neighborhood rivalry.
I think another key to the game, Joe, will be whether or not we'll be able to see through these Plymouth Whitemarsh cheerleaders. We may not be able to report anything. Girls, we're on television here. I got to have a clear thing. I'm sorry.
Sit down. Move. Let's go.
Okay, cheerleaders are moving. They were about to do a routine, I presume. We have to have that cleared. Okay. Center jump, here we go. Joe Kent Smith jumping against Salvi. Number 40, number 30. Joe, why don't you take it from here? Okay, here we go. The cheerleaders are moving back.
Okay.
That was probably just their routine for center jump. And we may have a read toss here. No, we're going to have possession right now. And Colonials will be awarded possession inbounds.
Yep.
That's number 32, Tyrone Coleman, will be inbounding to Dave Mcavoy. McAvoy guarded by Carmona.
Norristown and a man-to-man.
Okay, McAvoy at the point. That's 32, that's Coleman, the left wing. Top of the key, number 40, Adam Parnes, swings it over back to McAvoy. McAvoy cuts across Coleman, 32, and he walks. Good man defense on that initial set, Joe.
That was a very nice defensive set.
Okay, let's see what defense is employed here by the Colonials. It looks like a man-to-man.
Half-court man-to-man.
Gowdy, Carmona, top of the circle. Swings it over to Alfred. Alfred dumps it into number 33, Bates. Bates, a nice power move up. And Norristown's on the board first, 2-0.
Matt Bates working inside, took a nice pass.
Norristown, it's three-quarter court pressure. Salvi back to McAvoy at the point. That's number 23, Salvi. Goes it inside where he's fouled by number 33, Matt Bates. That's number 44, 6'3", wide body, Andrew Beer. He'll go to the line for 2, Joe. And what Norristown does not want to have happen is what they've had happened often this year, and that's foul trouble early and often.
Andy Beer is a starting senior. He did not start last year. It was my pleasure to coach Andy in baseball, and I can tell the fans that he's a fine young man and an excellent student.
That's nice to hear about a student athlete, Joe. Looks like he beautiful pass there, unbelievable pass. Darnell Gowdy dumps it inside to Matt Bates. Norristown looks sharp here in the first couple possessions. Salvi driving baseline, pull-up jumper, and he hits it. He's an offensive threat, Joe.
PW beat the press. Salvi got a 6-foot jumper from the baseline.
Carmona forced that a little bit, and hit nothing at all, so it's going to go over to the Colonials. 6:29 remaining in the first period, 4-2 Norristown. Norristown in a full court zone press. Ball still in forecourt. PW breaks it nice, and that's going to be number 32, Coleman. The weak side people have to get back for Norristown.
They broke that press with dangerous ease, Coach.
They broke it with the way you're supposed to. They passed the ball and then try to dribble through it. It's Matt Bates out at the top of the circle. Over to Alford, he's driving the middle. Turns up to Bates, a jump stop, and it looks like he traveled. It was close, but I think it was a good call by the official. Norristown again back in there, 1-2-1-1 zone press. That's Coleman, across the timeline, dumps it down to number 44, Beer, back out to McAvoy at the top of the circle. PW, crisscrossing play, looks like a pick and roll being set up here. Back to Beer, and that's 23 Salvi off the mark. Rebounded by 44 Beer. They can't give PW second shots, Joe.
Absolutely not. PW does have a decided height advantage, and the Eagles are going to have to out-quick them.
Here goes Colonials in a jump trap, and there's a travel on Jamal Alford.
Game's becoming just a little bit sloppy here, Coach. Could be the pressure.
The first couple possessions, Norristown was sharp. The last couple, they've thrown the ball away. There's a nice slashing drive by Tyrone Coleman. Used the left hand well there. PW up 6-4, 5 minutes remaining in the period. Gowdy on penetration, fires it up, doesn't go, but he's fouled. Norristown, Joe, does not look sharp on their half-court execution right now. PW's doing a good job jamming the passing lanes, denying penetration. Norristown might have to spread out and get better spacing.
I think the reason for that, Coach, is that the Colonials are playing very good defense, very tight defense. They're managing to stay close to the quicker Eagles.
That's uncharacteristic for Darnell, missing a foul shot. Point guards today, you have to shoot 75 to 80%. That's what the coach expects his point guard to shoot, no less than 75%. Darnell makes the second. Once again, Coleman. And Coleman is just going coast to coast. Nice pass again into number.
Nice pass inside.
Kent
Very
Smith,
nice pass.
number
inside.
30.
Kent Smith, a sophomore forward.
Plymouth Whitemarsh doing a good job against the Norristown pressure, especially number 32, Coleman. Salvi, that's tough. Quick catch and shoot. You get a quick catch and you square up and shoot, and you're 6'6", and you're being guarded by someone 6'1". That's tough to stop. Ill-advised pass by Gowdy, and a backcourt ball go back to Norristown. They're fortunate. Norristown, Joe, is not making true entry passes to the wing. They're throwing it across the top of the key. I think they've got to establish themselves deeper on the wing to get better spacing to allow them to open up that Colonial defense.
Norristown's ball out. Darnell Gowdy bringing the ball up against Dave Mcavoy. McAvoy hawks him. Almost a steal. Norristown is called for traveling.
Norristown is not sharp in their passing, and they're not getting open on the wing. PW is playing the passing lane extremely well. Into the game, number 4, Marvito Christie. I'm anxious to find out why Marvito did not start, but it's not who starts, Joe, it's who finishes games.
That's true, Coach. Nice pass inside. Parnes stepped on the baseline. Norristown's ball. Now the Colonials are starting to put on a little bit of defensive pressure.
Number 33 into the game for Plymouth Whitemarsh, Joe. Who is that?
That's Eric Palucci, a 6'5" junior forward.
Now here goes a breakaway. Could be a dunk here. Well, he didn't know whether to dunk it or not, and then he walks. Yes, he did. That's that indecisiveness, whether to dunk or whether to lay it up.
That's uncharacteristic. That's uncharacteristic of Dan Salvi.
Gowdy across the timeline. PW's coming out and we're playing a run and jump trapping defense. Norristown has to do just that and find the open man down low.
That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did.
Good defense by Norristown not to commit the foul. Number 32, Tyrone Coleman, very active part in the game so far, Joe, in the first 5 minutes of the opening period.
There's no doubt that he's been the most active player offensively for the Colonials.
And there's one of the keys that Coach Michael spoke with us before the game. When you allow the point guard to penetrate, you must slide over weak side to give some defensive help. And that subsequently is going to open up the inside players. And consequently, number 44 now is going to be shooting a 2-shot foul. And he's 0 for 3. Mr. Beer is 0 for 3 from the line.
He seems, Tom, to be rushing his shot a little bit.
Yeah, he might be. He's pulling the string. He doesn't have real good form. And in for Norristown is number 52, Big Charles Bronson, the 6'9" senior. And Beer is 0 for 4 from the line. And Jamal Alford comes down with the rebound. Norristown a chance to regain the lead. Here's Vito Christie driving baseline. Came back in, I don't know. You're allowed to come back in if your feet are firmly planted on the ground. That was close, out of our vantage point. So Marvito's got to look to settle down. He has a tendency to be a little bit hype when he initially enters the game.
I'm surprised, Coach, that that Norristown is not putting on more defensive pressure all over the court.
Well, perhaps the coach was not too happy about the way they broke it so easily. I mean, he wants PW to work a little harder for their offense. There's Jamal Alford giving Norristown a 1-point 11-10 advantage. Took the ball strongly to the hole at that possession.
Alford went coast to coast on that.
McAvoy, Coleman on the baseline drive. You know, it's really difficult. You see a lot of players getting beat defensively, and let me tell you why, Joe. It's not so much that their defensive footwork is not sharp. This floor is very slippery, and it definitely has the offensive edge, or the edge to the advantage to the offense. This floor's been slippery for the last 3 years.
McAvoy stripped, tried to penetrate, and he was stripped. Uncharacteristic of Mr. McAvoy. Beautiful pass.
Kent couldn't hold the pass. Gowdy, little forced jumper there. Big Charles brought it down and up. That's number 52, 6'9" Charles Bronson. I'd love to see him do well, Joe. He loves the game. He's worked hard. He got cut as a freshman. He was 6'1", about 240 pounds. Now he's 6'9", and he lost about 40 pounds.
All kind of potential there, Coach.
There's the pressure you want.
Yep.
There's Alford. Now it's a 3-on-3. Can't force it. And there's Gowdy on the finish. Very nice. Norristown now opening up a little bit, 15-10. And the Colonials are going to call a timeout, Joe. With 1 minute, 14 seconds to go in the first period. Norristown's climbed out of a 3-point-10-7 deficit where they've run off 8 straight points to go up 15-10.
We were talking in the pregame about the state championships that these teams have earned over the years. Tom, I've been around long enough to remember the 1962-1963 Plymouth Whitemarsh state championship team, which was led by John Pergine, Jimmy Moore, Bobby Oshevsky, and Ed Chesney. I recall going to the Palestra with my father to watch them play Upper Darby for the Eastern Finals. Upper Darby was led by a slight blonde sharpshooter named Bobby Lloyd. And
great player at Rutgers.
That is correct. He set all the scoring records at Rutgers, and we'll be speaking about other teams in the past as the game progresses.
It should be fun, Joe. Okay, PW. Norristown back in the man-to-man press. Now they're still in the zone press. They're trapping out of the man. They're actually, it's kind of like a run and jump defense, similar to what PW employed earlier.
Nice block by Bronson.
That's tough. You get a block and then it gets it right back, drives in for a contested layup.
A very, very athletic move by Mr. Coleman.
That's going to be over the top on Bronson. Charles has to realize that even though he's 6'9", those officials, especially because he's 6'9", aren't going to give him anything. Woo. Boy, PW is really fortunate. That should have been a turnover. Bronson with a nice strong rebound. Hits Gowdy going down the right side.
That was Dave McAvoy's first shot.
That's a big 3 for Darnell. Little off to the right. And Norristown, Jamal Alford cannot control the ball. And PW will take over. 25 seconds remaining in the period. In for number 10, Darnell Gowdy, is number 11, Gabe Irizarry, a 5'6" junior, backup point guard.
I'm impressed with Coleman, Tom.
Yeah, you don't want to foul here if you're Norristown. Matter of fact, I'd say you don't even have to guard him 50 feet from the basket. 14 seconds. Why risk getting beat off the dribble? I think they're extending their defense too much. Mcavoy can go right by him. Big rebound there. And Norristown survives the first quarter with a score of 15-12, Joe. And it promises to be a dogfight the whole way.
I think you're right, Tom. As I said in the pregame, I don't think this game is going to be a very pretty game, but it's going to be very exciting. It's a little ragged right now, but I think that's because of the emotion involved here. And again, these two teams are bitter rivals. They're neighborhood rivals. And that's what you're going to expect in a game like this.
Absolutely, Joe. What I assessed the first quarter, it looks like Norristown's pressure is bothering PW, and I think they have to sustain it, but they have to play it smart. One trap, and then rotate back defensively on a weak side, and then continue to play a tough pressure half-court defense. PW, on the other hand, I think if they're patient against the press and can reverse the ball, rotate, throw weak side against Norristown's pressure, that they're going to have some scoring opportunities.
One of the things
but it looks to me like Norristown right now is bothering PW.
One of the things that has impressed me is the Eagles are doing what their coach wanted them to do, that is to prevent Mcavoy from penetrating.
Yeah, he's only done it once, and it resulted in 2 missed free throws. Now, Norristown's going to have to recognize this trapping defense. What Colonials are doing, they're playing what they call a run and jump. They're trapping out of their man-to-man. And what you have to do there is you have to have a quick reversal. Here's Zari, dribble penetration, right baseline. Back to Christie at the top of the circle. Christie penetrating the right wing. Dead man's land in there. Vito just inside the 3, off the mark. Bronson with a great rebound, goes up again. Charles Bronson. Joe, he keeps the ball up. When he keeps the ball up, he's tough to get around, tough to stop. He's got 3 rebounds and 4 points, Joe.
That's correct.
So you got more out of him than their entire inside game up to this point. Great save by Christie. Great save. Swing to Irizarry off the mark. Charles was close to getting that second over the top call.
Mcavoy tried to penetrate the Eagles defense, and he was snuffed.
Norristown now inbounding under their own basket. Gowdy with Bronson low. Number 44, that's Andrew Bates, I presume, right?
Yes, that's Andrew Bates.
Irizarry and Christie. Norristown's played quite a few players to this point. Irizarry on penetration. They're not running their offense very well, though. And there's that Coleman.
Tom, I'll tell you, without Coleman, the Colonials are in trouble.
Norristown's in trouble.
Nice pass by Bronson inside. The young man showing a lot of judgment, a lot of maturity out there, and some very good choices.
Charles
I'm impressed.
Is a nice passer. That's Salvi squaring up. See, Norristown right now, I don't know. PW seems very comfortable against their pressure, Joe.
Yes, too comfortable.
And Norristown seems very comfortable against their half-court trap. 21-16, 5:56 to go. We're going to have a 20-second timeout. And Joe, with just under 6 minutes remaining in the second period, very interesting game, and not really a game of contrasting styles. Both teams employing some type of pressure. Both teams want to get the quick shot up when they have it, and both teams want to look to run.
I think that Andrew Bates has provided a spark off the bench for the Eagles. He's been found inside alone, took a nice pass, deposited the ball twice. Both Matt and Andrew Bates are, of course, transfers from Bishop Kenrick High School.
Make that Kennedy Kenrick.
Make that Kennedy
Still
Kenrick.
tough for us Kenrick grads, right, Joe, to put that Kennedy in there.
We're both showing our age.
Okay, number 40 is going to inbound the ball. That's Adam Parnes. The number 33, Palucci. That's number 3, I believe. Who is that, Joe?
That's Kenny Crockett.
Kenny Crockett in. Number 40, that's Adam Parnes. Number 10 is also a new player. And number 40, Adam Parnes scores. Number 10 is Britt Magnus. And
who's 40?
Number 40 shooting for the Colonials, Adam Parnes.
Adam Parnes.
And completes the three-point play. No, he didn't. He didn't make that. 21-18.
5.5 minutes to go.
Bronson up the top. Forced that pass in there. Offered. Norristown's offensive execution is struggling. They have been fortunate at times to get it inside, but their penetration lanes are being cut off. And they're going to need somebody to hit a jump shot to loosen up that PW defense.
Ooh.
Number 3, Jamal Alford on the miss. And there's number 40. That's Adam Parnes on the transition.
McAvoy showing his floor generalship. Found the open man under the basket. Adam Parnes hit him with a very nice pass, and Parnes completed the play with a layup. Parnes on the line, trying to complete the three-point play. Assist to McAvoy. Assist to McAvoy. Parnes completed the three-point play. 21-21, 5 minutes to go.
Gowdy over the timeline. Looks like a pick and roll call. He goes opposite the pick and roll. Can't make the finish. Just can't make. Norristown just can't finish. Their layup opportunities are halfway between using the glass and over the rim, and they're not making that adjustment. It's so important to finish. This is number 3 with the ball. That's Kenny Crockett. Kenny, a 6-foot senior guard.
There's Bronson again.
A big rebound.
That's 4 rebounds for Bronson. He's getting some quality minutes for the Eagles.
Alfred to Marvito Christie. Pull-up jumper. Vito short. Rebounded by Alfred. Looks like he stepped on the line now. Ball will be awarded back to Plymouth Whitemarsh. 4:16 to go. Norristown, I believe, is going to call a 22nd timeout, Joe. Tie game, 21-all.
Coach, let me ask you, in a game like this, when emotions are running so high, when the boys are so keyed up in an intense rivalry like this, as a coach, what do you do to focus the boys and bring them back down to earth?
Well, you know, there are times, really, if the emotion's so high, there's certain things the coach can't control. What I try to do pregame, if we're coming up against a big rival like PW, Hatboro, Coachville, you know, some of the perennial powers in the state, where you know the kids, they're going to be up. You don't have to get them up for the game. What you have to try to do is get them on a keel where they're not too high. And because that high energy level can affect your play. Usually after the first quarter, things settle down, and you know, their natural state of basketball competitiveness takes over.
Right. Did you find coaching in games like this to be fun?
Oh, absolutely. You know, there's not a coach in the profession that's worth their salt, and if they're honest about themselves and the profession, that just don't live for big games. Whether crosstown rivalry games like this, district playoff games, state playoff games, you want to be in a championship situation and a big game environment. It is fun. And I was able to evaluate myself immediately following every one of those games as to how I did personally as a coach. Norristown back to the press. PW breaks it pretty handily. Number 40, Norristown, getting really controlled inside now. Really having trouble on the boards, and that's been their Achilles heel. PW had 4 chances that time to score, and they go up 23-21. Norristown running a little bit different man offense right now. A lot of dribbling, not a lot of penetration though, Joe.
Yep. Colonial defense is tenacious.
They're trying to run some high post kicks, draws Bronson. Darnell, that's the best shot he's had. That's the best look he's had. That's the most. He created a little bit of space in there to get that shot off.
Nice soft touch, Tom. Nice soft touch.
He's a good shooter. PW now posting up number 33, Eric Palucci. And they have, if I'm not mistaken, Salvi out of the game.
Yep.
PW has some good size.
Out of the game is Bronson. Bronson looks a little winded, a little fatigued, but he has given the Eagles some quality minutes, both offensively and defensively.
Well, coach knows Charles can only get up and down about 3 minutes worth at a time. He just doesn't have that endurance, but he did give them a productive 3 or 4 minutes.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Nice pull-up jump shot by Salvi.
Is that Salvi?
Salvi, yeah.
Salvi back in the game. Illegal pick, I believe, on that. And that was on number 44, Bates, Andrew Bates. Norristown's over the limit now. PW's going to shoot a 1-1.
That's McAvoy's first point.
Number 4, Marvito Christie in to replace Jamal Alford. Coach is searching for some rebounding. The difference in this game right now are the boards. The offensive boards of Plymouth Whitemarsh really hurting Norristown. And there's a foul, number 11, McAvoy.
When you give a team 3 and 4 shots, it's going to be a long night. Long night.
Number 22, Carmona, right here in front of us, inbounding to Gowdy. Over midcourt, right wing to Andrew Bates. Number 10, Gowdy on penetration, kicks it out to Carmona for a 2, and he hits it.
Nice stroke by the young sophomore.
Yeah, he's a nice shooter. He's going to be a good player, Anthony Carmona. He's very committed to the game also. Ken Smith is getting the lesson. He's just...
That was Eric Palucci inside.
You can't let your man beat you across the lane. You gotta play ball you man. You can't trail your man across the lane. There's a little forced shot. PW on a breakaway. Nice save by McAvoy. And a foul by number 4, Marvito Christie. Norristown's just out of sync right now. 2 things. Rebounding and their half-court offenses. PW's is doing a good job shutting it down.
I don't think the Eagles are protecting the ball very well either, Coach. They've been stripped more than once tonight.
McAvoy with his 3rd consecutive made free throw.
McAvoy's an interesting story, Tom.
Sinks both. Now, just under 2 minutes, it's a 6-point edge. Going to be a very important 2-minute stretch here. Norristown can't let this game get away and get down double digits. PW employing a 1-3-1 trapping defense right now. And with their long arms at 6'6", 6'5", 6'4", tough to throw over top of that. You got to keep reversing the ball. Can't dribble into the trap. You got to pass it. And you can't throw across the top. Okay, Vito with the ball. Now they're going to a 22 defense. It's a 1-3-1 trap, it looks like.
Nice block on Bronson.
Charles has got to learn to jump at least a little bit.
Another block.
Andrew Bates can't convert. And I believe it's going to be a foul on number 44. I think that's out of frustration.
I think you're right, Tom. I think the Eagles are starting to get a little bit frustrated. On the other hand, the Colonials are keeping their poise. McAvoy is out of the game, a well-deserved breather. I was going to mention, Tom, about Dave McAvoy. There are some young men who are destined to be doctors or lawyers, teachers, jet pilots, firemen, policemen. Dave McAvoy was destined to be the point guard at Plymouth Whitemarsh, and it's nice. It's nice to see a young man and his father achieve their ambition, however modest that ambition may be.
Well, I know Dave's dad very well, and he's a very good coach in his own right, very intense competitor as a player. To this day, one of the favorite players that ever played for Coach Hank Stofko.
As a matter of fact, I believe McAvoy's father coached PW for a year during a sabbatical which was taken by the legendary Hank Stofko.
Yeah, I believe you're right. See, now they're in a 1-3-1. Norristown now, with the big size disadvantage, finding it difficult to throw across. They've got 33 at the top of that zone defense. Palucci at 6'5".
The lead's up to 8. Under a minute to go.
PW scored a big win earlier this season against Abington, who had just beaten Hatboro Horsham, and they seem to be getting on the top of their game right now. Charles Bronson getting a lot of minutes early in the first half. That's what Vito has to do. Nice pull-up. Didn't try to force it. Caught it in rhythm. Jump stop, baby jumper, nothing but net. Number 10, Britt Magnus. Back to Salvi at the point. Vito is up there bumping him chest to chest. I don't know what that'll accomplish. And that'll end the first half right there. But Joe, just that last little volley of play at the other end here. After PW put that shot up, the only person going after the ball for Norristown was Bronson. Their guards were out in the wing. Kent Smith was standing flat-footed, and PW was battling. All right, so as we move to halftime, Joe, we have a score of 33-27 in favor of Plymouth Whitemarsh, and Norristown did not play a very good offensive game.
I agree. I think their offense was very ragged. It seemed at times almost disorganized. There were flashes of brilliance. There were flashes of good offensive play, but for the most part, I believe that the PW defense is frustrating the Eagles in running their offense. And I think that the Coach Michaels is going to have to sit the Eagles down and reprogram their offense in order to deal with this tenacious Plymouth Whitemarsh defense.
Yeah, and not only just their man-to-man. If you notice the last couple possessions, PW changed to the 1-3-1 half-court trap into a 1-3-1 conventional zone with a 6'5" player at the top of the defense. So coach is also going to have to convey to his guards, look, they're changing defenses. We have to recognize, here's what we execute against one, here's what we execute against another. So Coach Michaels does have his hands full making adjustments at halftime, but I expect Norristown will come back from this 6-point deficit, and this is going to be a game going down the wire. So we'll be back after a brief break from Norristown Area High School, where the score at halftime here is Plymouth Whitemarsh 33, Norristown 27.
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay, we're back here ready to begin the second half, Joe. Again, Norristown's looking at a 6-point deficit. Let's see what the starting lineups will be now to open the second half. Looks like Darnell Gowdy, Jamal Alford, both Bateses, Andrew and Matt, along with number 4, Marvito Christie. PW, Salvi, McAvoy, 40, Parnes. 44 is in the game, Andrew Beer. And 32, Tyrone Coleman. The team that started for PW is on the floor to start the third period.
That is correct.
McAvoy, Norristown.
And why not?
In a man-to-man, Alford got in the passing lane near Steele. Norristown's going to have to pick up their defensive intensity, look to get the ball inside more, look to execute half-court offense a little bit better. PW running a lot of cuts weak side that Norristown is going to have to stop trailing. Salvi, 44 Breer to 11 McAvoy, bounce pass inside to the post Coleman, gave up baseline.
Very nice play. Very nice play.
Nice play, but it's a defensive blunder that you can't give a player baseline unless you're going to get help, and they're not giving help. PW looks like now well, let's see what Norristown does. They're still in a man.
Coleman made Bates look very foolish on that play. Very foolish.
Gowdy to Alford. Alford penetrates inside to Bates, number 44, Andrew Bates.
Bates has 6 points.
McAvoy setting up the team's offense. 1-4 set. Ball goes to Salvi in the left wing. Head pumps, drive, jump stop, pull up. And that's money. He's a nice player, Joe.
That is a very, very nice jump shot. You give him a second, you give him an inch, he's going to take that shot, he's going to make it. Nice form. Very nice form.
Matt Bates posting up. Referee called a foul. I believe he's not going to give him a shooting foul on this, so Norristown will inbound.
Matt Bates showing a little bit of attitude. The referees aren't going to like that.
Well, 44 is playing him very, very physically also. Hold now number 40, that's Adam Parnes. So 2 quick fouls on the Colonials. Norristown's going to have to convert, get this lead back.
It's not a shooting foul. Colonials by 8. Norristown needs a run.
I meant convert this possession, Joe. And there's Christie. Hits a 3, and they needed that.
Salvi bringing the ball up, showing a lot of poise.
McAvoy into number 40, Beer, short.
Andrew Beer showing persistence on the offensive boards.
He just put a body on Bates and just rode him out of there.
Yes, he did.
Unquestionably a walk there. He moved both pivot feet before he put the ball on the floor.
It seems that the Eagles have their heads down a little bit. Shaking their head, making faces. Referees don't like that.
Great rebound there. That's a strong pull. See if they can't get something in transition. Good transition defense, Plymouth Whitemarsh. They can't bury these shots inside. There's a nice steal by Alford. That time he converts.
Leads cut to 5, 39-34 with a little over 5 minutes to play.
Ooh, almost a steal by Gowdy. McAvoy on penetration, kickoff, and that time Darnell going for the steal.
That was a very nice behind-the-back pass by McAvoy. He penetrated, saw the floor, saw the open man. 2 points for the Colonials.
44 is going to be Andrew Bates inbounding to Gowdy. PW looks like they're showing their 1-3-1 trapping zone. Norristown recognized it, got the ball down low to Andrew. He's playing a pretty good offensive game this half.
Matt Bates drove the baseline, showed a power move inside. 2 points, Norristown. 41-36.
McAvoy using the screen, reverse the ball, and there it is, Gaddy with the steal. PW getting back quick. Darnell heads up play to bring the ball back out and reset the offense. Penetrates, kicks out to Alford, driving baseline, little shot out of control. That was a big possession. Norristown needed a better shot at that. Jamal Alford's got to play more under control. You can't be taking shots on the run like that.
Into the game now for the Colonials is Eric Palucci, a 6'5" forward, a junior.
PW is now running the PW offense, literally. Isolation to Coleman, and he got hammered. Good hard foul. Norristown's getting beat off the dribble, Joe, and that's not a good sign.
Another troubling aspect to the Norristown demeanor is that the Eagles seem to be yelling at one another, arguing with one another.
Well, I think they're just frustrated. I think they're trying to communicate. That's their way of communicating, and you can't read anything more into it that. I think their intensity level, Joe, is still there. They're frustrated now because they can't score down at this end. But it's maybe make it a 5-point game. 4 minutes to go. But see, this is they have to retain possession and rebound the basketball better, and they have to convert when they have opportunities down this end. PW is getting chance after chance.
Yep.
And Norristown just is having a little difficult time putting everything together right now. The double dribble there.
Coach, does it surprise you that that Plymouth Whitemarsh is scoring inside so easily?
No, not really, because they have the size advantage, and that's been Norristown's Achilles heel all year. Norristown has the wide bodies in the Bates twins, but PW's got some leapers and equal muscle, and they're 3 inches bigger. And they're fundamentally doing a very good job boxing out and working for offensive rebounding position. Does Norristown have to do a better job in that area? Absolutely. They have Charles Bronson in the game now. 3-second violation. And I think Coach Michaels might be best served now with a timeout. It's still only a 7-point game, but 3 poor possessions offensively in a row for Norristown. Mcavoy.
This is not the
McAvoy's using his elbow, and that ball went off of McAvoy right in front of us. And I don't know what one official overruled the other.
This does not appear to be the Norristown team that went to Cheltenham and played so well in a double overtime win.
That's exactly right. You should be a lot sharper at home after a big win like that. And once again, they're there crashing the board. PW's just quicker to the ball than Norristown inside. And Matt Bates just absolutely ripped that ball. See, that's what Norristown doesn't need. They have to look to get something off their offense.
Norristown's only getting 1 shot. The Colonials own the defensive boards.
Okay, there's Coleman on the right wing. Hits number 40, Barnes. Barnes back to McAvoy, back to Salvi for a deep 3. It's a little short, rebounded by number 3, Jamal Alford. Darnell Gaddy with the ball, dribble penetration, nice dish off, and a push by one of the Colonials inside. Looks like number 32 on the pushing foul, Tyrone Coleman.
Is first to third.
Into the game for Norristown will be Anthony Carmona, number 22, and he's replacing Andrew Bates, who's played pretty hard this third period.
Yes, he has. They're all over Bronson inside. They're hanging on him.
Darnell Gaddy looking for inside penetration, hits Alfred top of the key, left wing to Carmona. Bates on the baseline, nothing there. And they shut the baseline off really well there. And Matt not real sharp with the ball down low. Another turnover for the Eagles. Salvi on the pull-up. But when he gets that little, creates a little space in there, he can shoot it.
I think Norristown needs a timeout, Tom.
Well, I guess he's trying to save it now with 1:29 to go. Make a fourth quarter run. Norristown down 9. Still very, very manageable deficit to overcome. And that's a good way to start to overcome it. Now, Alfred could convert this 3-point play. They're going to head in, cut the lead down to 6.
Now, Salvi is first to fourth. Christie back to the red.
Number 3, Jamal Alfred on the line. And he's going to get the shooter's roll on that. 6-point game, Joe. 1:17 to go. Let's see if Norristown can't get something out of this last minute.
Still a lot of time, Coach. A lot of time.
PW spreading the floor. And that's the man they want with the ball right there. Mcavoy, that's the first bomb he's taken tonight. And I think Norristown's happy he took that shot. Mcavoy doesn't shoot much from the perimeter. There's a shot into Bronson. Goes up, gets the little baby hook. And it's a 4-point game, Joe.
I like this young man. I like this young man a lot.
McAvoy, 35 seconds to go. Penetrates baseline, kicks it out to Salvi, wide open, way off the mark. Norristown with the ball. Norristown with the ball, and an ill-advised pass by Bates. Plenty of time. They have to take their time. Gowdy across the timeline, hits Christie. And Vito is not ready to catch the ball or set. Every time Norristown has a chance to really get something going, they create a blunder, a fundamental blunder. And I'm sure that irritates Coach Michaels.
Coach, the play there would have been to pull the ball out and play for the one shot.
Play for a better shot, at least. Well, that ended up to be a 4-point turnover. Instead of Norristown cutting it to 2, PW scores to go up 6. Vito doesn't know that. Okay, Marvito Christie, I think, lost track of the time, threw up a desperation 3 there. At the end of 3, Joe, 47 Plymouth Whitemarsh, 41 Norristown. Your thoughts?
I note, first of all, that the Eagles did not chew into the Colonials' lead at all. They're entering the fourth period, still down 6. That play at the very end by Britt Magnus was a very nice defensive play. I think that Coach Michaels has got to be concerned with Plymouth Whitemarsh's ability to withstand and overcome and adjust to any defensive set that he's putting in there, Coach.
Norristown's MO, they've been playing from behind all season. And they get themselves in a hole, it seems, almost every game. A couple games they were able to dig out, most recently against Cheltenham. And but they lost a tough one at Souderton, a tough one at Westchester East, a good team. And now here they're against another quality opponent. They're just not in mid-season form as some of the other teams are, because it's a new system, a new coach, and a lot of inexperienced players and parts. They're going to get better. As far as this game's concerned, if they're going to shoot them, they're going to have to go. Bronson again on the follow. See, Norristown can't get anything defensively. That hurts them. That was one of the keys. Coach Michaels wanted to get points off his defense, and that's not happening. Mcavoy, nobody on help defense there. Norristown had their backs turned from the ball. Inexcusable. And I'm sure Coach is going to point that out to them tomorrow at practice. Norristown's now trying to shoot quick and I guess make it a full court game. They're going to have to play better defense. You don't give the point guard an uncontested layup.
One thing about Mcavoy, he will not rattle under this pressure. He will not rattle. He's cold as ice out there.
Norristown should try to make a run now while Salvy's out of the game. And there's a turnover. Another walk. I don't know about that. I didn't see it. But see, certain players, Joe, can't try to do things that they're not comfortable doing and capable of doing. You can't force it. One extra pass every time seems to be more productive than trying to force the issue. All right, Bronson held his ground there pretty well. Norristown has a chance to cut the lead to 2 or even 1. They need a good possession. Plenty of time. Gowdy, corner, penetrates off the dribble. Tough shot, but he got the shooter's bounce. And it's a 49-47 game. Here comes Salvy checking in at the scores table.
This is what we predicted, Tom, a barn burner.
Let's see, the team that keeps their poise right now plays the better defense. PW calling a timeout. 5:53 to go, Joe. Plymouth Whitemarsh at 9-point lead earlier in this half, now cut to 2.
This game, I think, is going to go right down to the wire, as so many of these Plymouth Whitemarsh Norristown basketball games have been over the years. I can recall, Tom, 3 or 4 years ago when your Eagles played the state championship team, which was led by Chucky Moore, John Salmons, both who are now Division I players, and you played them very tough. You played them very, very tough. I think one of the most underrated players on that team, Tom. We all remember Chucky Moore. We all remember John Salmons. But I think the glue to that team was John Fazio.
Yeah, Fazio, he gave them a lot of spark. He didn't have to do a heck of a lot because all the towns surrounding him,
right,
from the surrounding school districts that matriculated at PW. And the next year that tradition continued. They had 2 outstanding players in their lineup from Norristown.
One of whom was Joe Green, as I recall.
Joe Green and Gene Shipley, that's correct. And that year they were eliminated by Harrisburg. Harrisburg High School won the state championship that year, a 31-1 record, their only defeat, and that's a big turnover.
That is a very, very big play by Salvi.
Norristown had possession, another turnover, tied game. Norristown just looks snake bit. They just can't make the big play. The right player's not stepping up. They've got to have somebody stepping up. This game is not very difficult, but you got to use your head. A lot of it's mental, making good decisions. It's Christie.
Salvi's.
They're running a little wee type offense. PW's really, really jamming it. That's a bad shot right there by Christie. Marvito does not look in sync tonight. He didn't start the game. I wonder what happened. Who knows? Maybe he's not feeling well.
4-point game, 5 minutes to go.
Norristown is running, just basically playing one-on-one basketball right now, but if that's the only way you could score, then maybe that's what you have to do. PW spreading the floor, running good sets, trying to isolate Salvi.
There's a lot of movement off the ball.
A lot of weak side cutting. There's a cutter, cuts a walk, but they didn't call it. There's that number 32, Coleman. Great scoop drive. He'd be my MVP of this game, Joe.
I have to agree with you, Tom.
Carmona, they need him. Bronson with an offensive rebound and a jump ball. Possession arrow is going to favor PW. every one of these important possessions, Norristown's coming up on the short end, Joe.
And it could cost them in the end. It could cost them in the end.
Critical, they need a stop here. Approaching the 4-minute mark of the final period, the Eagles definitely need a stop.
I think PW is going to look to Salvi.
Well, you got Salvi there on the baseline. Spots up, bang.
Mr. Salvi can shoot the ball.
He's got a bad matchup too on him. But Norristown just has no choice.
Who's covering Salvi?
Well, at that time it was Carmona. He was giving away 7 inches.
Yeah.
Backcourt violation against Norristown. Credit PW. Credit PW for playing tough man, though, Joe. Their man has been very impressive. It'll be a timeout right now with 3:34 remaining. Colonials up by 6 at 55-49.
It's do or die time. It's do or die time now, Tom. 3.5 minutes to go. Down 6. Norristown is going to have to dig deep to narrow this lead. But again, the senior leadership of Salvi and Mcavoy, they are going to be very tough to wilt. They, in my opinion, they will not wilt under pressure. It's going to be up to Norristown to win this game. I don't think the Colonials are going to give it away, not with that senior experience in Salvi and Mcavoy. Norristown's going to have to dig deep and win this game.
Well, I agree with you there, Joe. Norristown definitely is going to have to step up. They're going to have to get something from their defense. Right now, Plymouth Whitemarsh is getting excellent looks. Salvi, they're afraid to guard him. You know, they go out and they extend their defense on him. He's going around and pulling up, hitting the baby jumper. My feeling is there now, if you can't stay with him, you give him the 3-pointer. You don't let him go by it. 3:34 to go. Norristown's going to have to do a little bit of gambling. But basically, they're going to have to just play solid D. It's a 2-possession game right now. It's only a 6-point differential. With Carmona and Gowdy, that's 2 possessions. But this guy right in front of us, number 32, here he's been, I think, Salvi expect him to perform. This 32 Coleman's been the story in my estimation. I think Mcavoy got away with a high dribble there. Norristown extending their man-to-man defense. This is what they have to do, and there's a trap situation. They turn, square up. PW moving the ball very well, throwing away from the pressure. Looks like Mcavoy goaded Carmona into a foul. I like this. I wish we had that on replay. Carmona was ejected for a flagrant foul, but McAvoy's that type of player. He goats and talks, and you know, he used that savvy to goat the young sophomore Carmona into that flagrant foul, and I think he set him up, and that's unfortunate. And if that's the way that this player is coached to play, I'm not in agreement with that, Joe. I blame McAvoy as much as Carmona for that.
I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more, Coach. It's nice to win, but it's not nice to win at any cost.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not justifying Carmona making contact, but the officials saw the end of it. And Carmona is one of the nicest kids that I've known. And I know McAvoy's a very intense kid. Use that savvy. Hey, Rep, what was that call for the TV? Because he goaded him into it. What happened? Retaliation? Did he goaded him into that? All right, into the game right now, Tony Ellis, number 32. He's just for defensive purposes, I assure you. Salvi, smart play there, could get the ball and called a time. With the conversions of the technical fouls, PW's lead now is extended to 8, 57-49 with 3:05 to go. And Joe, what's your estimation of the situation right now at Norristown?
Tom, I think they look a little bit flustered. I think they look a little bit discouraged. I think that they have to be affected a little bit by the ejection of young Carmona, but that's what the coach has to remedy. The coach now has to step up, get his players focused on this game. They are 8 points down against a very intelligent, a very experienced team, and I'm concerned for the Eagles right now.
Yeah, right now they seriously missed the Terry Pearson's injury tonight in absence, really hurting Norristown's inside game, and senior leadership being the only returning starter. PW inbounds the ball. It's back to Mcavoy. Mcavoy right now unguarded, taking the ball uncontested in. They're going to be in their spread offense now. Norristown may be forced to come out and foul. Norristown only has one team foul. Definitely a keep away right now.
Plymouth Whitemarsh is starting to take the air out of the ball. They may be doing it a little bit too early.
Well,
but we'll see.
2:34 to go. I don't think so, because Norristown, there's the steal. Another missed layup opportunity for Alford.
That was a killer miss, a killer miss.
Well, I sure would have put it back to a two-possession game with over 2 minutes. They're not going to shoot the ball, Joe. And that's Norristown's second foul. I think Norristown's going to have to start the foul.
Well, that's their second. They certainly have some fouls to burn.
Yeah, they can't. I don't have the stats, but they can't have anybody in real serious foul trouble. Mcavoy with the ball at the point. And they're really spreading them out. They're going to play foul. They're going to play four-corner offense.
They're going to play keep away.
I think it's smart. To be honest with you, I think it's a smart ploy by Plymouth Whitemarsh.
Nice rebound by Andrew Bates.
Surprised that Palucci took that shot, although it was a wide open layup. That's Alford with the spot up three. The lead's now cut to 5. Still plenty of time. They need a turnover. And that'll stop the clock.
Foul on Ellis, the second, 2-4.
Okay, Norristown picked up their 4th team foul. Plymouth Whitemarsh won't be shooting 1-1 for 3 more fouls. However, this opportunity Norristown to overextend and gamble on defense, and don't worry about contact.
Right.
I would be double teaming the Mcavoy also. That looks like a backcourt. That might have been touched by Norristown. That's a foul by Carmona. 52-57, Norristown trailing by 5, 120, 15 foul. They need a steal here, Joe. They need a steal and get that lead down to 3.
That's exactly right.
And you're double teaming the wrong man. Now, this is where scouting reports come into importance. Well, they got, you gamble, you get beat inside. PW's doing a great job executing that delay offense. Christie with a 3, cut the lead to 4.
4-point game.
He's going to have to grab, he's going to have to foul. Going to have to foul. Stop the clock with 47.8 seconds. It's a 4-point game. Coach Michaels is up questioning the officials on something. Coach Michaels calls time, 47.8 seconds to go.
Tom, was that a shooting foul? I don't think it's a shooting foul yet, is it?
No, it's a 16 foul. They go 1-1 on the next foul. So Norristown is going to have to look, maybe deny, not guard the inbound pass, or look to face guard somebody, try to get a steal off the inbounds. If not, they're going to have to foul right away because they can't keep getting PW layups now. They have to make them earn it now from the free throw line. And this is where scouting reports come into play as to who do you foul.
I would think that the two that you don't foul are Mcavoy and Salvi, especially Salvi.
They say a little bit about the crowd tonight. Very disappointing crowd. I know it's Christmas time. Not a lot of students out here. One of the poorer crowds for the Plymouth Whitemarsh Norristown game, I'm sure, in history. I know the weather's a little cold, but this will warm me up. You come to a high school game. It's the best ticket in town. And speaking of the crowd, there's quite a few people I see leaving already. Stranger things have happened with 47 seconds to go and only a 4-point game.
I note that the Plymouth Whitemarsh crowd is a little bit more enthusiastic than the Norristown crowd.
It's because they're up on the scoreboard.
Oh, is that the reason?
That's the reason. Crowds like that, those things are consistent game in, game out. Okay, 2 seconds off the clock. Something tells me McAvoy is a pretty good free throw shooter, and I'm sure the coaching staff at Plymouth Whitemarsh is happy that he's on the line.
I wish I had $1 for every free throw that young Mr. McAvoy has shot over the last 8 years.
Yeah, I bet you could probably retire from your bar association. It's still a 2-possession game. I think Norristown's going to look to spring threes at this point. There's the pick set by Ellis. Edged out well. Vito ran into Gowdy at that time. And that looks like it's going to be tough to overcome now.
They fouled McAvoy again. He's going to the line.
Well, these are two teams that are going to be trailing Hatboro Horsham in the Liberty division. And I think realistically, what they have to look to do is get better, both teams, as the season progresses, and try to get in a playoff mode, because it's going to be tough to anybody else to beat Hatboro out pending injuries or miraculous situations. They're clearly the top team in the league. Norristown and PW are going to be a close second, third. Cheltenham beat PW by 20-some points. So the league, a lot of parity in the league, Joe. Rebound pulled down by 40 Barnes.
Well, give the Colonials credit. They came into the other guy's building. They withstood whatever pressure the Eagles put on, and they played a masterful floor game. Salvi was absolutely terrific. But I agree with you, Tom. I think the most valuable player for the Colonials this evening was Mr. Coleman. Very athletic, very quick, a player to watch.
He set the tone early in the game with his transition, offensive rebounds, slashing moves to the basket. Whenever they needed a bucket, like when Norristown made a run earlier in this quarter, he came up with a big bucket. So he would be our a sponsor if we had one, player of the game, I think.
I agree with you, and I think that the bright spot for the Eagles this evening was the play of young Bronson.
Well, I think Charles right. Charles did play well in the short time, 2 stints that he had, but he lacks agility, and Norristown just needs some more consistency inside. There's Christie with a bomb, cutting the lead to 64-58.
There's a meaningless foul, and we'll see 2 meaningless shots.
Right, I'm sure Coach Michaels didn't want that foul. At this juncture, you let the clock run out. You just regroup, regather your troops, come out to practice tomorrow, review the tape, and move on. Norristown, I believe, has, I don't know if they're playing anymore before now and Christmas or not, but for you fans out there, the Triangle Club Boys Basketball Christmas Tournament will be held here at Norristown High School December 26th and 27th. I'm pretty sure it's the 26th and 27th. Check your newspaper, the Times Herald, and your local newspapers, or NASD TV. 4 teams this year will be Norristown will be matched up against Upper Merion in the first round on the 26th, and the other game that night will be Martin Luther King from Philadelphia, a fine team against Kennedy Kennard. Very improved team with, I understand, a transfer, 6'11" transfer from overseas that's made them a better team already by his presence. So Vito Christie will run out the clock here. as Kent Smith caught the ball, moved on. And a final score as we wish everyone a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holiday, and hope that you'll join us again here for our next NASD TV telecast, which will be after the new year. Joe, final thoughts on tonight's game, and then I'll do a quick wrap.
Again, all credit to the Colonials. They played a very, very intelligent game. Tyrone Coleman and Young Salvi were very, very impressive. Again, I join my colleague Tom McGee in wishing everybody a happy holiday and a safe and prosperous New Year. And again, Tom, it was a pleasure working with you, and it's a pleasure sitting next to a person who has 332 wins to his credit, including a state championship. The man knows his game. The man knows basketball, and again, it's just a pleasure to listen to you, comment on the game, and listen to your insights, Tom.
Well, Joe, I appreciate that. I truly enjoy it. It's a game I love, and being around it so long, it's almost second nature. And once again, coaching philosophies vary. There's no right philosophy, no wrong philosophy. Some of the things Coach Michaels does, I think he does a super job at, and I agree wholeheartedly with the job that he's trying to do and taking over a program. Is a difficult thing to do here at Norristown, but fans, be patient with this team, be patient with Coach Michaels, and you're going to see a great program maintain that greatness. So for everybody here at NASD TV, Joe Highland, I'm Tom McGee. Good night.